All right. Welcome to another edition of Skope TV on a Monday evening, January 26th. I got a great, amazing musician on the phone with me tonight, Cary Brothers. Cary, how you doing?
Good, man. How's it going?
Oh, man, great to hear from you tonight. Really good. Where are you chatting with us from, and how's your day going? What you been up to today?
I'm actually listening to mixes of the new record. I'm just at home in LA, just chilling out and enjoying nicer weather than you guys got, I think.
That's for sure. So you've had great success with the hit "Ride." What's that song all about?
It's just girl songs. It's that Ride is essentially Ride is kind of a song about being in a relationship with a girl who none of her friends liked me. And the whole idea is that kind of letting a relationship be affected by the people around you, and if you didn't have those people, it would be perfect. But unfortunately, you got to deal with other people. So that relationship didn't last too long. But that song out of it sounds pretty good.
Well, that's cool. And that, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the song that Braff directed the video for, right?
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you, that video is pretty sexual in nature. Did you and Zach try to do that on purpose?
Well, the thing is, there are actually two videos for Ride. There was one that was in the Last Kid soundtrack, and then there's another, darker one, directed by my friend Tyler Shields.
Oh, I think I'm talking about the darker one with the guy and the girl driving around.
Yeah, that one's like, we were out in the middle of the desert, and they just kind of, the actors just kind of went for it and had some fun. So, it's a pretty broadly romantic song, so I didn't mind having a couple people making out.
I love that video. I saw it many times on SkopeMag.com. So were you expecting DJ Tiesto to remix Ride and then invite you to perform with him in front of massive crowds? I mean, what did that mean for you?
That was crazy, because I wasn't that familiar with kind of DJ culture and DJ world, and so when he called me and wanted to do something, I just thought he was this nice guy from Holland who wanted to remix one of the songs. I had no idea he was like this superstar. And it was like blew me away. And then he did the remix, and I loved it. And he started playing it this summer, and I don't think he had many people play with him live on stage before, but he invited me out to play in Bonnaroo and at the O2 Arena in London in front of ridiculous amount of people. I kind of felt like I won a contest.
That is amazing. So, and I mean, the record, you've been no stranger to record labels offering you record deals, but you've decided not to take them. Why'd you choose that move, and are you pleased with that decision?
Yeah, I mean, I went with an indie label named Blue Hammock that I did a deal with between my imprint and their label. Right now I feel like the music industry is kind of like the Wild West, and that scares a lot of people. The structure is kind of falling apart, but I love it. It feels like if you stay independent, you can do anything you want, and I love having that freedom. And I've never really been that good with authority, so it kind of works for me.
Now, you're involved with video blogging, which is real awesome. When did you start that, and do you find it to be effective with your fans, connecting with fans?
I only recently started doing that. I made some, attempts at it in the past and then didn't like it and pulled them down. But I put one up this month, and I want to try to at least do one a month, if not 2 months from now on. And people really responded to it. It's a great way to talk about what's going on and make it personal, and I can play covers or little pieces of new songs, and it's another good way to connect.
It's awesome. Well, this will be on YouTube tomorrow morning, so you can post this if you want. So with the expansion of the internet, do you think that a lot more artists are going to follow your lead and say no to the major label and go the indie route?
Well, I think majors they know how to do one thing really, really well, and that's, take an obvious hit song and make it a hit and put tons of money into it, and that's great for people writing, that kind of music, like the kind of Kelly Clarksons of the world, like good for them. But that's just not the kind of music I'm making, and I think there are a lot of other musicians out there now that, everybody wants their music to do well, but I
awesome. So how much time do you say that you spend per day in the recording studio? Or just playing music in general?
I was on tour for about 3 years up until last summer. So I came back and took a nice little break and kind of divorced myself from my guitar for a while. And took a break and thought I wasn't going to make a record till early this year. But I kind of, the guitar's like the mistress, like I can't get away from her. And so I just started picking up the guitar and writing new stuff and realized I had a lot of new things to say. And so I just went ahead and played in the studio and created a whole new record. And now I'm playing guitar pretty much every day, like playing all these new songs and getting ready for touring that'll be starting pretty soon.
Well, that leads right into my next question, because you're primarily a solo artist, but you play, obviously, with a whole array of musicians. How do you decide who you want to play with, and then how do you decide who you're going to put on certain singles that you're putting out?
Well, there's a great community at this place called the Hotel Cafe out in L.A. I'm a part of this kind of family of musicians, and not only the songwriters, but also all the players. Like, there's a group of drummers and guitarists and bassists and keyboardists that everybody plays. We all kind of play together incestuously. So I believe in all those guys, and it kind of just depends on who's available at the time. Who's not with another friend of mine on the road. But in the studio, I definitely tried to pull in. It's kind of on a song by song basis. I knew whose sound would be best applied to what song.
That's cool. I was on your MySpace. I've been on the MySpace page a bunch researching for this interview, and they're amazing, your plays, your friends. How much do you look at those, and what does that ultimately mean to you? Is it important? Is it not important? Does it lead to record sales?
Yeah, well, I kind of got in on the MySpace thing pretty early, like 5 years ago, like right when they really kicked in with the music stuff. And at the time, I hadn't really done anything. I had an EP out. I was playing in LA, and MySpace is the way I was able to connect with people nationally and ultimately internationally through MySpace and now Facebook as well. It's just a great way to stay connected with people and build. And it was a great way to build an audience when I had nothing else. And I would sit up all night long on MySpace, like sending people and finding new fans. And that was the basis for that was pretty much how I got started. So I think it helped me a lot. And it's been a pretty important part of my career.
You really hit a good point, because it's like with MySpace, if you were coming out, let's just say in 1985, there was no internet, there was no MySpace, and do you think that you'd still have the same result today, or everybody had to go through the record deal?
I think it would have just taken a lot longer.
Yeah.
Where the internet makes things move faster. It's pretty amazing now that you can sit in the corner of your room on a Mac and record a song in GarageBand, drop it down in an MP3, send it to iTunes, or put it up on your MySpace page, and it's out in front of millions of people within 24 hours. That's pretty amazing. If I had been able to do that when I was 16, I don't think I would have finished high school.
I totally agree. I agree with you 100%. I feel like it's understated, the power of the internet.
People don't realize, your average Macintosh now comes with GarageBand. You have more recording capability on that than the Beatles had making their records.
Yeah, it's so true. And I just want to stop you here, Cary. This is an amazing interview we're doing. We are going to stop and go right into part 2. Skope TV, please hold.